Welcome to Sunday Mystery School. Today's episode is all about feeling it real, which is the essential key to all law of attraction and law of assumption teachings. Sunday Mystery School is a resource provided by the School of Imagination, and this is episode 40. So if you're brand new to Sunday Mystery School, you can access the entire series by visiting our website and enrolling. It is free, schoolofi.org. Today's masterclass is all about feeling it real, and we're going to talk about the 5 essential keys to feeling it real. And I'm going to go over these 5 keys now so you can know what to expect as we move into the lesson. The first key to feeling it real is to understand that a mood is a place. A mood is a place. It is a location. We're going to talk about what that means. The second key principle to feeling it real is that thoughts are things. Thoughts are things. Now, this is a teaching that a lot of us have heard before, but we're going to talk about how that relates to this idea of feeling it real and tie it in with the other keys. The third principle is that the heart is the engine. The heart is the engine of the electromagnetic energetic system that you are. And so we're going to talk about how to use the heart as the engine to power this process of feeling it real. The fourth principle is the somatic principle, and we're going to talk about what that means and how to feel it real by getting into the body, the somatic principle. And the fifth and final principle, essential key that we're going to talk about today, is the 3-day manifestation recipe. So we're going to take those first 4 keys and we're going to weave them into a profound masterclass level understanding of what it means to feel it real. And then we're going to interpret that into a 3-day recipe, for catching a mood and completely changing your life based on an advanced understanding of the law of attraction and the law of assumption. So today's masterclass is really about piecing together all of the Mystery School teachings that we've had to date, as well as really bringing and weaving together a lot of the things that you've probably seen taught in videos online. It's all about really bringing it together into a comprehensive understanding of what it means to feel it real. So with that, let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, so in today's masterclass, I'm going to be drawing out. For those of you that don't need to just hear, maybe you also need to see, I'm going to illustrate the process here so that we can understand at a deeper level what it means to feel something real. Okay, so let's go ahead and start by developing an understanding of the 5 essentials. So we're going to start with this one right here. A mood is a place. A mood is a place. Okay, so what does it mean to say that a mood is a place? Okay, so a mood is really defined. We're going to start just by saying the mood in general. Okay, so the mood in general is a specific configuration or calibration of your state. The mood is a specific calibration or configuration of your state. So within a mood, there are a lot of different elements. So a mood could be, we're gonna really include the body in this, right? So within a given mood, there's even an HRV, a heart rate variability. Okay, there's even neurotransmitters, right? There's neurotransmitters associated with being in a specific mood, and maybe this is quite obvious because a lot of us associate mood with having a specific feeling. Okay, so there's our feelings, there are emotions, okay, in a specific mood. There's also a frequency of thoughts. Okay, so when you're in a high mood, you might notice that your thoughts feel lighter or feel brighter. When you're in a dark mood, you might feel darker thoughts, right? Your thoughts really are related to your mood. Okay, so physical, mental, emotional, it really is a whole configuration. Okay, so you might even begin to act based on a specific mood, right? Based on how you're feeling. It can even drive your actions. Okay. So, for example, when you're feeling social, you are more likely to seek out people to hang out with. Okay. Whereas when you're feeling not very social, you kind of want to withdraw and go inside. That would be a different type of mood. And so you'd be less likely to seek out people to socialize with, right? So even a mood can even drive your actions. Okay. And there's a lot of components to the mood. And what we really need to understand is that this mood is a place. It is a location. It is a location that we can arrive at. Okay. So right now, each and every single one of us is embodying a mood. Okay. Now, it may be your default mood to the point where you don't notice, oh, I'm feeling different than how I normally feel. Okay. It might just be your default mood. In fact, you might even think, oh, I'm not really in a mood right now. I'm just being. Okay. But when we understand that a mood is a place, then now this is the place that we just live in. So we could even call this our residence. Okay. The mood could even be a residence. And then sometimes, we can actually travel out of our normal residence and we can visit another mood. Okay. So we can actually travel out of where we normally are and we can visit a new mood. And for some of us, that mood might be temporary. All right. So you wake up and you immediately stub your toe, right? As you're getting out of bed and walking to the bathroom, you stub your toe. And so immediately you're like, oh, this day might not go how I wanted it to go, right? So immediately you could have a little bit of a mood, but then, you kind of catch yourself and you're like, okay, maybe it's not that bad. Let me come back to my normal mood, which is where I typically reside. Okay. Let me come back to my normal mood that is a residence. Okay. So it is a place. That's the key idea here. Mood is a place. Okay. So when we understand that the mood is a place, let's now create a circle here that represents our desired mood. Okay, so mystics teach us that the mood is the key to the law of attraction. The mood is the key to the law of assumption. It is really to the key of manifesting circumstances in our lives. Okay, so the mood becomes what we could call an attraction point. Okay, mood is an attraction point, has a charge associated with it, right? So the desired mood that we want to live in would have an attraction point associated with it that attracts circumstances. Because remember, this is an energetic calibration. It's an energetic calibration. So there are energies associated with this. There is a charge associated with this. And this mood becomes reflected back to us. Okay. We have this idea of we are living in a simulation and who we are being is mirrored back to us with mathematical precision. It is mirrored back to us. Our moods are mirrored back to us in situations type that a little fast. Yep, situations, circumstances, events, the behavior of people. Have you ever walked into any type of place, like a store or an event gathering or even work, and immediately you are greeted by someone who is embodying an authentically bright mood. They are authentically thrilled and joyful to see you. Okay. Perfect example for me personally is every time I go to my yoga studio and the owner of my yoga studio is there, she authentically loves all of her students. And so when I walk in there, she is always authentically overjoyed to see me and immediately greets me with this bright mood. Okay. And I cannot help but mirror that back to her. No matter how I'm feeling as I'm walking into the yoga studio, I could be like, oh, I'm so excited to do yoga. Or I could be like, really, this is the last thing that I want to do, but I know that it's best for me. So I'm kind of like forcing myself to be there. Doesn't matter what mood I'm walking in with. When I am greeted by someone who is radiating this powerful mood, I cannot help but mirror it back to her. And so I'm giving her back the same energy that she's giving me. And I'm super authentically excited to see her too. Okay, so this is an example in miniature of how being in a mood affects the behavior of people. Also affects events, affects circumstances, affects situations, right? So this is really, a mood is a place, and that place creates the larger reality that we experience. Okay, so you could even draw a second circle and then consider that there's this this mirror-like effect, okay, coming in and out, right? It's a radiation of energy, right? Going out, coming in, going out, coming in, right? So it's mirroring. Okay. I'm going to clean up this drawing a little bit, and then we're going to go into this idea of what it means that a thought is a thing. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we understand that a mood is a place, and that place is a point of attraction, a point of creation. Okay, and we actually go to a place, we go to this mood for the purpose of receiving something. We visit this place to receive something. And there are certain things that exist in this place that is a mood, and they are thoughts. Thoughts are things. Okay, so there are certain thoughts that exist in specific moods, and we can enter specific moods to receive specific thoughts. Okay, so this is how a mood starts to become tangible. Once we understand that a thought has substance in the energetic field of reality, and then we understand that where we are dwelling, okay, the mood, where are you dwelling? Well, you're dwelling in a mood. Okay, it has very little to do with the actual physical location where you find yourself right now. Really, where the you that you really are, which is not the body, but rather the intelligence operating the body, the intelligence and the awareness that is operating the body, that's the real you that you are. And that real you that you are is in a specific place. And that place is an energetic calibration. It is an energetic configuration. And another word for that is mood. Okay, so the you that you are exists in a place that is a mood. And when you are in that place, you receive thoughts, which are things. And there are certain thoughts that you can only receive in certain places. Okay? On this channel, we talk a lot about the teachings of Neville Goddard. And Neville Goddard speaks very frequently throughout his entire body of work about thinking of, compared to, and distinguished from thinking from a state. Thinking of a state versus thinking from a state. Okay, so when I am thinking of a state, I am out here, outside of the mood, and I'm looking at it. Okay? And the thoughts that I am receiving are over here. They are not the same thoughts that I would be receiving were I in the desired mood and thinking from the state. Okay, so let's make it clear here that the desired mood is also a state of being. The desired mood is also a state of being. So to think from our desired state of being, not to think of, this guy's thinking of, this guy wants to get into the desired mood and then begin to think from. Okay. Let's do a quick review, and then we're going to bring in essential principle number 3. A mood is a place. A mood is a state of being, and a state of being is directly related to a mood. Within a mood, there are physical, mental, emotional, psychological, spiritual components. It is a place. It is a place that you can live. You can live in a mood. Okay, some of us, actually, I would say all of us, have a mood that is our default mood. And really, if we were to choose to change our life, we would change our default mood. That is the mystery school teaching simplified and condensed into a single sentence. If we were to change our life, we would change the mood that we live in as our primary residence. If you remember in our earlier mystery school teachings here on Sunday Mystery School, we talked about what is your mailing address? What is your permanent mailing address? What is the address that is on your driver's license? And we use that as an analogy for where do you most frequently and commonly reside in terms of state of being. Okay, so we're now expanding this understanding to understand that a state of being also really the fundamental aspect of a state of being is the mood associated with it. And we're expanding the idea of a mood to include physical, mental, emotional, psychological, cognitive, spiritual dimensions. All of those dimensions are present within a mood. Okay? So when we're in a specific mood, our body is behaving a specific way. For those of you that may not be familiar with the term HRV, HRV is heart rate variability. It is a measure of emotional resilience. So when we are in a depressed mood, or when we are overtired or overstressed or have overworked ourselves, you will see, you can scientifically with devices, you can measure HRV and you will see a drop in the HRV. And on the flip side, when you are properly rested and you are in a happy, resilient, emotionally flowing state, your heart is open, you are, bravely moving through your life, you are curious about the next adventure, you will see that your heart rate variability increases. Okay, so there are physical, measurable characteristics to a mood. HRV is one of them. We also understand neurotransmitters. Okay, so when we're in a depressed state, a depressed mood, naturally our neurotransmitters will operate differently. Okay, so this is this idea of our serotonin, our dopamine, all of the other neurotransmitters, oxytocin that helps us feel connected to other people. Our bodies help us feel things real. Okay, our bodies help us feel the reality of our mood. So the mood comes first. That's another important point here because the mood is the place. We enter the place first. And then our body responds. Oh, you want to feel depressed today? Great. I will start suppressing, the brain will start suppressing the neurotransmitters of serotonin to help you feel the mood that you're in. Okay, so it's not the other way around. Let's keep that in mind. It's always energy first and then matter responds. That's actually the principle of the whole universe. It's always energy first and then matter responds. It's this idea of consciousness being the fabric of reality. So anything that emerges in the fabric of reality that is tangible and measurable comes from an energetic basis, which is consciousness. Okay, so our bodies respond to the mood and not the other way around. Even though it's easy to get confused and be like, oh, my body is putting me in this mood. Well, actually, it's energy first. Okay, so really the key to solving any issue going on there would be to address the energy first, and then to understand that everything else will flow out of the energy. Okay, so that's neurotransmitters. Obviously, your feelings, that can be an emotional state, a state of awareness, even the frequency or the vibration, the quality. I prefer the word quality. The quality of your thoughts are directly linked to your mood. And then naturally, your emotional state, plus the quality of your thoughts, plus your inner speech, what you're saying to yourself, all of these things are derived from this place that you're living in, which is your mood. And out of that comes your actions. Okay, so the actions that you take in your life come from the mood that you're in. And so, when you're feeling open and uplifted, you behave differently when you're in that mood than when you're feeling depressed and kind of like we feel like you feel like you have a desire to withdraw. Okay, your actions are going to be different when you're living in a different place. Okay, so a mood is a place. A thought is a thing. Okay, so if we want to think from, we need to enter the mood first. That is the key teaching of this masterclass. If we desire to think from a state of being, we need to enter the mood first. Okay, so all of us, when contemplating a new mood, find ourselves outside of it. Okay, it is our walled city. It is the walled city of Jericho. And we find ourselves on the outside, and we desire to capture the city that is the mood. We understand it as a place. This is why Jericho in the ancient mystic texts was described as a city. It is a physical location. It is described as a physical location because really a mood is a physical location. So we are on the outside. We are Joshua, and we need to gain access to this walled city. We are currently thinking of what it would be like to be inside of this walled city, and now we need to move and think from. Okay, how are we going to do this? How are we going to gain access to this walled city? That brings us to our next principle, the heart-gut engine. Our next essential principle is the idea of the heart-gut engine. Okay. So to understand the heart-gut engine, we need to understand first that this person here is not in no mood. Rather, they are in a different mood. Okay, so this person, which is an avatar of you and I, and we're thinking of something that we would desire for our lives. Okay, anything that we would approach with the law of attraction. I desire to be healthy, wealthy, free, loved, known, joyfully expressing myself, whatever that desired mood is. Okay, currently we find ourselves in a place where we feel like we don't have that. And we're thinking of it and saying, wouldn't it be nice if I were now the person that I desire to be? Okay. So to become that person, we must grow the mood. We must access that city. We must move into that place. First, we got to get in there, and then we have to make it our home. Okay? So to do this, we need to align our energetic system, which is the engine of our moods. The energetic system is the engine of our moods. Okay. So the energetic system specifically is the heart, brain, gut. Okay. The heart, the brain, the gut. Okay. So there are neuronal structures in each of these specific places in the human body. On this channel, we teach the concept of heart coherence extensively, and I'm going to weave that into this concept of catching the desired mood. Okay, so when our heart, the brain in our heart, the brain in our head, and the intelligence, the brain, the neurons of the gut are all synchronized and operating together in harmony, it creates an easing of attachment to a specific mood. This is actually a key for unlocking the door. Okay, so let's illustrate this. Okay, so first we need to get out. Okay, we need to get out of the state that we find ourselves in. Okay, because we need to get out of this and into the desired mood. Okay, so we're going to start by unlocking the door. And the best way to unlock the door is to ease our attachment to the old mood. Okay, so we need to turn down the volume and reduce the charge and come into a neutral state. Okay, so rather than just making a headlong run at the desired mood, I'm just gonna try to force with will to capture the mood. Okay, any of us that have tried that, maybe we can touch it for a moment, but chances are we don't move in and stay there. Okay, and these essentials are to help us understand how to not just make a will-powered run at it, but rather to mount a strategic change of residence. Okay, so these are the principles for how to do that. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to unlock the door of the state, the mood that we are currently in. And how do we unlock that door? The heart, the brain, the gut are the key. Okay, so it starts by going into the inside. We have to reduce our attachment to the mood that we are currently in. How do we do this? We do this through a heart coherence exercise. Okay, so this is where it starts, heart coherence exercise. Heart coherence exercise, I'm going to break it down in a couple of very simple and easy to understand steps, okay? So the first one is we're going to quiet our mind and body. We're going to slow our breathing. We're going to focus on the heart, and we're going to activate gratitude, appreciation, and compassion, love. Okay, so those are a couple different words for a certain calibration of energy. There's a certain calibration of energy, there's a certain frequency or flavor of energy that is activated through these emotions: gratitude, appreciation, compassion, love. Okay, so this is the four-step, really stripped down process for activating heart coherence, unlocking the door, achieving neutrality. Okay. So there's a reason why we're in the mood that we're in. Okay. And a lot of it comes down to the habit. So you could actually consider that there is a wavelength. It's like little grooves that are carved in our neuronal structures, little grooves, right? And that's what makes this our usual place of dwelling. These are little grooves that are being carved by our energy. And over time, this becomes a habit. Okay. So the only way, really, when we understand that this becomes habitual, the only way to change the grooves is to change the energy and then carve a deeper groove. Okay. So usually, if we're really going to make this a masterclass, we're going to go into a little bit more of the weeds here. Usually, it's not just one, it's three. Okay. So my brain has a groove. The neurons in my heart have a groove. And the neurons in my gut have a groove. Okay. The only way, really, to change the groove as it is right now, because it's a habit, the only way to change that groove is to synchronize all of them together, to synchronize all of them together so that they are operating as one, and then to carve a new groove using a high vibration emotion. Okay. So normally our pattern, these can just be doing whatever they want. Our heart can be one place, our brain can be another place, our gut can be another place. Okay. And this is how most human beings, at least up until now, have operated their lives. Their gut is telling them one thing, their brain is second guessing it, and their heart is pulling them in a whichever direction. Okay. So this is why most people find themselves in the states that they find themselves, because this has been the paradigm to date. What I'm describing here busts that paradigm. Okay. This is a recipe for completely changing that paradigm. So instead of just letting each of these do their own thing, okay, we are now going to take authorship and agency over what is happening in our energetic system. And we're going to align the gut, the brain, and the heart and get them all talking to each other and let them click into alignment so that there is really one frequency. Okay, there's one frequency, there is one energetic pattern. And we do that through this process of heart coherence. And I just hit the wrong button and backed out of it. Let's get again. Do this through this process of heart coherence. Okay, so what does heart coherence give us? It unlocks the door, okay, because it resets the patterning that was holding us in the old state, the gut, brain, the heart, the habit. That was what was holding us. That was the closed door, okay? So it resets that patterning and it opens the door. Now that the door is opened, we can now begin our ascent into the desired mood. Okay. So we have activated these high vibrational emotions, these high quality emotions of gratitude, appreciation, compassion, and love. We've quieted our mind and body. We've slowed our breathing. We've focused on the heart, breathing in and out of the heart. We've activated gratitude, appreciation, compassion, and love. I am simplifying this process in this moment. For those of you that are seeing the value of what I'm talking about right now, I strongly recommend that you look up heart coherence meditations. There are many to choose from. Find one that resonates with you and begin to practice this. because this is the key that unlocks the doors to new moods and thus to a masterful ability to use the law of attraction and the law of assumption to manifest your ideal life. Okay, so we have unlocked the door now. We understand that we've been thinking of and we desire to think from. So we must now enter into the desired mood. Okay, we understand that the heart and the gut power this process. The heart and the gut and the brain as well. But I specifically am calling out the heart and the gut because it is important for us to recognize that it is not just about the brain. We are living in a time on planet Earth where humans have really emphasized cognitive ability. And the new paradigm that is emerging now on the planet is beginning to bring the rest of our intelligence into the mix and begin to even it out. And the only way to really even it out is to get all of the three brains in sync. Okay, so the head brain, we can almost take for granted. All of us are using the head brain to even understand what I'm speaking about in this masterclass. So really the key is to get the heart and the gut on board. Okay, so we're making this ascent. We need to onboard, onto the aircraft, the gut and the brain. We need to be fully aligned in our state to make our ascent into the desired mood. Okay, the heart, the gut are really going to power this ascent. We can't just think our way into a new mood. Remember, Neville famously said, it's the title of one of his books, feeling is the secret. He did not write a book titled Thinking is the Secret. No. He wrote a book titled Feeling is the Secret, and he gave away the secret in the title. Okay, feeling is the secret. Okay, so thinking comes quite naturally for most of us. The key to feeling is to get the brain of the heart and the brain of the gut in line with the brain of the head and bring those feeling elements into it. Okay? Let's start to talk about the fourth somatic, or the fourth essential, which is the somatic principle. Okay, the somatic principle. The somatic principle, somatic just means of the body. Okay, so somatic principles means embodied, of the body. It's, it's touching, it's feeling, it's moving. It is taking things out of the realm of only the imagination in the mind, taking things out of the mind imagination and bringing it into the body. Okay, so to make this movement into the desired mood. Okay, we have now unlocked the door of the old mood, and now we need to move into the new mood. There is a best practice for this. There's a best practice for this. And I'm going to start by explaining why the somatic principle is so important. And then I'm going to share a couple of techniques for it. Okay, and then we're going to bring all of this together and talk about the 3-day recipe. All right. The idea is when we fully enter the desired mood, our whole state of being changes to now reflect the desired mood. Everything about us, it is measurable using scientific instruments such as those that measure heart rate variability. If you do a blood test and you test for neurotransmitters, the results will be different when you're in one mood versus when you are in another mood. Okay, this is measurable. Your feelings in one mood are different. Your emotions between moods are different. The quality of your thoughts is different. The actions that you take are different. And even how you move your body is different. Okay. Have you ever noticed someone when you're out in public and you can tell from the way they are holding their body, from the way they're animating their body, from the way the intelligence and awareness that is piloting the body is presented in the animation of the flesh? You can tell immediately the mood that they are in, the posture, the location of the chin. Is it lifted? Is it dipped? Is it straight? Where are the shoulders? Are the shoulders back? Is the chest open? Are the shoulders slumped forward? Is the chest closed? Okay. Are the legs crossed? Are the arms crossed? Is it, you're kind of coming into this closing up the energy system, or is the body open and relaxed? Okay. How are we walking? Are our strides short and aggressive, or are they long and relaxed? Okay, are the hips relaxed or are they tight? Are we walking like we're being held up by a rigid stake, or are we walking with a looseness and an openness, right? A natural sway, a natural rhythm, a natural pace. Okay, so the point that I'm making by getting you to think along these lines and painting a picture is that there is a somatic quality to a mood. It is not just what am I thinking about? Oh, that's my mood. No, it is more than that. A mood is embodied. This is why it is a place that we live. Okay, this is why it is the fundamental concept of the law of attraction, the law of assumption. And most people who think that the law of attraction and the law of assumption do not work, they think that because they don't understand this. This is the key idea. It is not just simply about visiting it in our thoughts. It is not simply about, with a force of will, trying to assume a new feeling of the wish fulfilled. It is about making it palpable, making it tangible to where a blood test shows a difference. We are that much of a different person measurably when we are in the feeling of the wish fulfilled than when we are not, that we can measure the difference using scientific equipment, such as those that measure HRV and neurotransmitters, and then obviously our subjective experience of feelings and emotions, and then our objectively observable, meaning other people can see, of our actions, our posture, the way that we hold our body, the way that we move. All of this together, combined, is the state of being. And so to enter a new state of being, all of these elements must be considered. Okay, so this is the somatic principle, meaning that we have to make it physical. Okay, so what is the best way to make it physical? There's a couple ways, but I'm going to give a few examples of what has worked really well for me. And I've also taught these in the classes at the School of Imagination. And I have a body of students who have tested these ideas out and come back to me and said, this was a game changer. The process of making this somatic involves movement. It involves movement. So you start by activating the heart, the brain, the gut, and you move into that feeling of gratitude, appreciation, compassion, and love, and you set that new rhythm. Remember, we talked about that new alignment between the heart, the brain, the gut. Okay, we're now carving a new groove. And then in that place, we need to begin to catch the mood. It is catching the mood. It is an ascent. It is a rising of awareness. It is a journey. We are moving into something. Okay, we are moving into something. And it is a place, but it is an energetic place. Okay, that energetic place that we're moving into then determines everything else about us. It determines all of these other things that we've talked about here, right? It determines all these things come from that place. Okay, so we are now entering a new place. So the best way that I've found to enter a new place is to treat it essentially like a ritual. To treat it essentially like a ritual, meaning that you set a space that is going to hold your sacred intention that you are now moving states. When you buy a new house, there is a whole process involved in moving out of the old house and moving into the new house. When you buy a new house and you are changing permanent residence, okay, there are all types of activities associated with that. One, you probably go through your house and you start doing a cleaning. You start, the place where you're currently living, you start cleaning it and you're like, okay, what is not going to make this journey with me? What am I going to give away? What am I going to donate? What is going to become gifts? What is going to become donations? What is going in the trash? What is not going to make this change with me? Okay. So the first, you're really starting to set a space. You know that you're moving. And now when you're walking through your current house that you're moving out of, your eyes are different. You're like, I'm leaving this place. There's now a ticking clock. I now have a deadline to get out of this place and move into this new place. So you begin to set a space. You begin to carve out time. Okay, I'm going to spend 3 hours going through that big box of stuff in the basement that probably just has a bunch of stuff that needs to be shredded because I'm certainly not going to take it to my new place. Okay. So I'm illustrating this to point out about how when we move physically, we set a space for it and we begin to access it with intention. And I'm proposing to you in this moment that when you are serious, okay, you're not playing at this, you are serious about it. You are serious about applying the law of attraction, the law of assumption at the level of mastery. You will approach it the same way you would approach moving physically, and you will do a similar process for moving in a mood, okay? So you set a space, okay? So you set a window of time. For the next hour, I am going to be uninterrupted. I am catching a new mood, okay? So you set a space. You start by unlocking the door of the old state, which we talked about how to do that, the heart, the brain, the gut. And then we need to make this real through the somatic principle, okay? So the somatic principle, this is what I have tested personally and with my students that has miraculous results, okay? So you are going to need for this, let me go ahead and write it out. A set space. Oh, too big. There we go, a set space. Okay, so this is a time and a place that is physical. Okay, so this could be your bedroom, this could be your living room. You could even go get an Airbnb somewhere and rent it for a weekend, specifically because you're doing a sacred act of changing moods. Do you have to do that? No. But what I am pointing out is that when you treat this like it's a serious thing, reality watches you and is like, oh, this person is doing something. Something is changing. Okay. You're making a new memory. You are impressing deeply on your subconscious mind. There was life before I did this act, and now there's life after I have done this act. Okay. So you're treating it seriously. That's the point that I'm making here. So you're setting the space, time, a place, making it physical. And then you're going to need a victory song. You're going to need a victory song. Okay, so if you don't have a victory song, you're going to have to find one. The victory song, the key is right in the title, right? The key is right in the title. It is a song that to you makes you feel like you are in the state of victory. Okay, all I do is win no matter what, right? It's one example of a victory song. In some of my courses that I've taught at the School of Imagination, this has been a prompt, and people have come to a channel and posted their victory songs so that we can all kind of get a feel for different types of songs that be used as victory songs. This is a free masterclass on YouTube, so you don't have the benefit of your fellow students quite in that way. Although if you want to leave in the comment an example here on YouTube, if you want to leave in a comment an example of a victory song and hook up your fellow students in that way, that is greatly appreciated. You're going to need a victory song, okay? And basically what you're going to do is you are going to begin to summon a mood. You're going to begin to summon a new feeling. You're going to begin to move into this desired mood with all of the charge, understanding that it is a place, understanding that you are leaving the realm of thinking of, and you're moving into thinking from. And you are doing this like it is a ritual. You are taking it seriously, and you are making a profound impression upon your subconscious mind. You are creating a new memory. You are changing your state. You are bringing your heart, your brain, your gut into a new alignment, which is measurably changing your HRV, your neurotransmitters, your feelings, your emotions, your quality of thoughts. And now it's time to bring in the actions. Okay? So you're going to need a victory song, and you're going to need to move your body. Okay? You're going to need to move your body. There is a song that I was taught growing up, and I'm going to see if I can remember the words of it for you all right now. I will enter your gates with thanksgiving in my heart. I will enter your courts with praise. I will say, this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice, for he has made me glad. Okay. I will enter your gates with thanksgiving in my heart. Does that not sound like entering a desired mood? I will enter your gates. What if we are singing about our Jericho? Our Jericho, for those of you that have not attended Sunday Mystery School in the past, Jericho is the fragrant odor of the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It is the desired city. Okay, that's what that word means. We talked about that in some of the early episodes of this series. So when Joshua is blowing the trumpet and the walls of Jericho come tumbling down, that is a mystic story for entering the desired feeling of the wish fulfilled. Okay, so we are entering that feeling of the wish fulfilled with thanksgiving in our hearts. Remember, activate gratitude, appreciation, compassion, and love. I will enter your courts with praise. That kind of sounds like a victory song, does it not? Okay. So there is a specific mood associated with changing moods, right? You're starting to get that feeling, right? You're going to move your body, okay? Some of the most profound changes of mood that I have made in my life, and I've guided students to do the same, hundreds of students at this point, is to dance your way into a new feeling, a new mood, into a new place, into a new residence, into a new state of thinking from, okay? To dance, okay? If you are able to dance, you're gonna dance. You're going to do this, you're going to dance. You're gonna set a space. It can be private. You can invite your friends. You don't have to invite your friends. You can do it by yourself, okay? You can play it in a stereo out loud, or if you're sharing space and you need to do it quietly, you can put it in headphones and retreat to your bedroom or a closet, but you are going to dance. And you are going to dance to your victory song. You're going to move your body. You're going to make this somatic, okay? You are going to really get into the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and you're going to make it physical. You're going to make it tangible. You're going to pull it in, okay? You're going to smell that odor, okay? Now, I wasn't planning on sharing this. This is a very advanced secret, but it's coming to me in this moment, so we're going to talk about it. Okay, this is a bonus. The scent. The scent. The olfactory sense. Okay, there's a reason why Jericho was called the fragrant odor. The olfactory sense is a deep, deep link to the subconscious. The sense of smell, the olfactory, is a deep, deep link to the subconscious mind. Okay, so if you really want to take this to the next level, you will also select an essential oil. You will select an essential oil that is linked to this new mood. Okay, so one way to do this would be to go to your local metaphysical store where they have tester bottles where you can smell different essential oils and you can find one that matches. I mean, you're going to know, right? The sense of smell is so powerful. It goes straight into memory. It goes straight into the deep, deep subconscious and unconscious. Okay. It's actually a hack in that regard. So you are going to choose, this is advanced. You don't have to do this, but if you are really taking this seriously, in addition to these principles, you're also going to choose a scent. Okay. The Bible, mystic teachings of the scriptures suggest frankincense. Okay. That's one that has been used for countless centuries as the feeling of the wish fulfilled odor, okay, the fragrance. You're going to choose a scent, okay, and you are going to link this state to the scent, okay, so you're going to pick it out, and then you're going to set the space. It's going to be a time, a place, physical time and place where you're going to enter into this feeling. You're going to have your victory song, and you're going to begin to really conjure that energy and really get into the feeling of the wish fulfilled, okay? And when you really feel like you've got it and you are animating that state, you are moving, you are dancing, you are in alignment, then you're going to pop open that essential oil and you're going to give that smell to your nostrils. You're going to inhale deeply, okay? And you're going to set the intention as you're inhaling that scent deeply, you're going to set the intention that this is going to be an olfactory anchor, okay? So that in the future, should you wake up and you notice that somehow you're sleeping outside of your state, like you woke up and somehow you slipped outside of your house, that is this new state of being, that is the desired mood, all you have to do is grab that essential oil and take a nice deep whiff and reconnect to that victory feeling, that feeling of victory. And you are right back in that chosen mood. Okay? A little bit of a bonus there. Here's the next practice. The wealthy walk. The wealthy walk. Okay? This is one you can do in public. Okay? These things here you're going to do in the privacy of your own space. The wealthy walk you can do in public. So the wealthy walk is where you practice being in the mood while you are walking. Okay? It's a walking meditation. So what I do for the wealthy walk is I have headphones. I am listening to my victory song and I am walking in a beautiful place. So it's nature, it's my orchard, it's around a lake, it's through a neighborhood that is, beautiful, that has beautiful homes. Okay. So it's a wealthy walk. Okay. So when I'm walking this way, I am dressed like the person I desire to be. That's an important point, right? I'm literally in the state of being. So I am dressed as the person, I'm wearing the costume of the person that I desire to be. And now I am walking and I am practicing those elements of posture and animation that we talked about. I'm practicing them in real time while I am in the correct mood. And this is how I am linking the mind and the body and the spirit together. Okay? The spirit is the mood, it's the place that I dwell in. The mind is the thoughts that are things that I receive while I'm in that place. So now I'm thinking from. And then the body is how I move, how I animate my physical flesh while I'm in that state. That is the desired feeling of the wish fulfilled. That is the desired mood. That is the attraction point of the law of attraction. That is the assumption point of the law of assumption. It is my energetic calibration. It is my charge. Okay. And now I am moving. I'm living, I am moving, I am having my being in that desired mood. Okay. Let's bring this full circle and in for a nice landing. Okay? Here's the 3-day recipe. Once you have moved into this new mood, Okay, you've caught the fragrance of it. You've caught the feeling of it. You have unlocked the door of your old state. You have moved into the new state. You have gone through this process. You have danced it out. You've moved the old energy. That's another key point about dancing. You move the old stagnant energy when you dance. When you move your body like that, you're moving out of that old state, and you are beginning to bring in and welcome in the new energy, the new charge. You've done all of this, okay? You've now moved into that, and maybe you've even gone so far as to choose a fragrant odor that represents your feeling of the wish fulfilled, okay? Now there's a 3-day recipe for manifestation, okay? So the idea is that the moods that we now live in begin to reflect back to us through this principle. We talked about, I think I already deleted the drawing, but there's the 2 circles, right? So our mood reflects back to us in circumstances, people, places, things, events, the behavior of others. All of that is reflected back to us. We're now in this mood. We have now embodied this mood. What is the 3-day recipe? The 3-day recipe is that we now will sleep in the desired mood tonight. Okay, so it starts with tonight. So we've now moved into this new place. As we're falling asleep tonight, we remind ourselves of that mood and we connect to it, okay? And we want to fall asleep in that mood. And the reason why this is important is what I call the snapshot. Actually, this is what Neville calls it. Neville calls it the snapshot or the picture. And through my teaching on this channel and with the community, as a community, we came up with this idea of the save point, okay? So the idea is that life is a simulation, okay? It's a game, it's a simulation, okay? Nothing's actually real. We're just experiencing a simulation of our thoughts, feelings, behaviors in the form of flesh, which gives us really the most direct experience of our state of being. That's the whole reason why we're here. So game of life, it's a simulation. And the simulation, the universe actually takes a picture or saves our game each night as we slip out of the beta brainwave state, which is where, our normal waking aware reality. And we're moving into deeper brainwave states. Okay, so this is where we are most of the time while we're just kind of around and doing our thing, living in our waking consciousness. And as we drift off to sleep, we come to this cusp between the alpha and the theta. And the theta is dreamlike awareness. Delta is dreamless deep sleep. Okay, so we move through alpha into the alpha theta cusp. And as soon as we move into theta towards delta, right there, our universe takes a selfie of ourselves, takes a selfie of our state of being, takes a selfie of ourselves. Now, if you're a regular on Sunday Mystery School, this does not surprise you. If you're in this moment, you're like, what the heck is he talking about? I am dramatically simplifying advanced neuroscience and combined and wrapped together with mystic teachings for thousands of years. Okay, so the mystics figured it out way before our modern society came up with tools to investigate this. So I am dramatically simplifying it. That's why it's a masterclass. I'm really giving you just the keys of what you need right now to make this practical in your life. Okay, this is what you need to know. There is a snapshot, a selfie, a save point that occurs as you move between these brainwaves. And this is why state akin to sleep is a thing. Okay, state akin to sleep, or really as you're falling asleep and the feeling of the wish fulfilled, the universe takes a snapshot. Okay, and what happens is from that save point, the events of tomorrow, when we wake up and we start to live our day and move back into these other brainwave points, okay? the universe is generating the events, the circumstances, the situations, the people, the places, the things based on our save point from last night. Okay? So what we do then is we choose our save point tonight, day one, and we do our absolute best to fall asleep in the correct mood, the feeling of the wish fulfilled, so that when the universe saves our game, we wake up in the morning and the premise is that we are in the desired mood. Okay? And then tomorrow, we do it again. Okay? So now we have slept in it. We've slept in the state the first night. We have slept in the state the second night. On the third night, or on the third day, because the universe is now building on the premise of our save point, okay? It got a little bit of data here. It got a little bit of data from us here. By the third day, and this is again, mystic teachings for thousands of years have been talking about 3 days, okay? On the third day, there is going to be some sort of reflection. It may not be everything that you are dreaming of immediately. Remember, everything is played out on time and every seed has its appointed hour. But there is some sort of evidence. Something will be different. Okay, on the third day. And here's the key. If you notice what is different and then come back and sleep in that state again, okay, on the third night, okay? So you've been planting the seed, right? You planted the seed on the first night. The universe took notice, took your picture. Save point. Second night, you're saving your game. You're still in that mood. Third day, the universe goes, are you sure? Okay? And this is why something changes. It's up to you to figure out why. You got to be the existential detective using the spirit of curiosity. You got to figure it out. You got to notice what's changed. And you can do that by setting the intention. I'm going to notice what's different about my reality today because I know that I've slept in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, this specific mood for the last 2 days after having made it my primary residence through this process right here. Okay, so I know what I'm doing. I'm taking it very seriously. Okay, the universe is going to change. Something is going to change in the mirrors because you've changed your face. Okay, just to be clear. The universe is essentially going to say, are you sure? And if you say, yes, I'm sure, and you sleep again in that desired mood, the third night, okay? Do you remember how in the world of Caesar, there's this concept, most states in the United States have this built into the world of Caesar. You have the 72-hour or 3-day rite of rescission. Okay, so it's this cooling off period. So if I go and I buy a Mercedes tomorrow and I pay the dealership and I buy it off and I drive it home, and then I wake up tomorrow and I'm like, what was I thinking? Why did I buy a Mercedes? I actually want a Bentley, right? What was I thinking? I should not have bought this Mercedes. I want a Bentley, okay? In my state anyways, I have a 3-day right to get out of the contract, okay? So I can wake up the next morning and be like, oh, no, I changed my mind. I don't want this, okay? So it's not final. Even though I signed on the dotted line, it is not final until I have slept as the owner of the Mercedes for 3 nights. That is a world of Caesar mirror of this principle that I am teaching you right here. Okay, you have a 3-day rite of rescission, meaning you can sleep in the desired mood, or let's be clear, let's be really clear and honest and direct. You can also sleep as not being the person you desire to be. You can decide, even unconsciously, that life is terrible and you can fall asleep in a very dark mood, and you can take that save point, and you can wake up on the second day and do it again, and you can wake up on the third day and do it again. The universe is like, okay, that's who you're choosing to be, right? The universe is only going to give you what you are giving it. Okay, it's a reflection. So this is the world of Caesar mirroring back to you the 3-day rule. Okay, universe operates the same way. You have 3 days to get out of it. If you see what's different and you say, this is what I want, I'm sleeping again in it. Now it is permanent. Now this mood is your permanent residence. Okay, it is your permanent residence. It is now the mailing address on your driver's license. Okay, now, does this mean you'll live here forever? It's up to you. It's up to you. Because you could always choose to leave this state. Okay, you could always get confused, or something happens that's unexpected, you get knocked out of your rhythm, and rather than using these tools to get back into the rhythm, right? These tools right here that we talked about in this masterclass, rather than using them, you could forget. You could get complete amnesia. You could forget who you are. You could forget the tools, and you could start to fall asleep in something that you don't want. Okay? And the same thing will happen. Be another save point. If you choose to fall asleep again, a second save point. On the third day, something changes. I lost my my screen here. Let me try this again. On the third day, something changes. And that's the universe's way of asking, are you sure? Okay. If you say, yes, I'm sure, and you sleep again in a different state than what has been your permanent residence, okay, now your residence has changed, and now you live in a new place. Okay. Now this can be used for good or for not so good, because you can be in this permanent residence and maybe at some point you grow out of it and you're like, I think I need a new house, meaning a new mood. And then you can choose that using everything we have taught in this masterclass. You can now choose that and move into it. And also, is a not so good example, again, you can forget and you can start to sleep as something other than who you desire to be. And if you do that for 3 days, now you've moved out of that desire mood, and that's your new house. Okay. So here's the key. You are free. You get to choose where you live. And what we have talked about in this masterclass empowers you with an exact recipe of how to do it. It is now up to you to apply it. Now the agency, now the authorship is entirely on you. It is up to you to choose the desired mood, to choose to move into it, understanding it in this, I hope, new way based on what we've talked about today. And then to begin, once you have really moved into it and made it yours, this is how you make it yours, okay? Once you've really made it yours, you must begin to sleep in it. Okay? Sleep in it. Because of that snapshot, that save point, okay? First 2 days, you may not see a whole lot change, depending on how drastic the new mood is. Okay, so if you're going from a very dark place to a very bright place, there's a huge difference. Okay, it might take a little bit longer for you to notice something changing. If it's a slight, there's variables to this. Okay, but the idea is you sleep in it tonight. Tomorrow you do it again. On the third day, something will be different. It is up to you to notice it. And then to choose to sleep in it again. And if you do that, when you wake up on the morning of the fourth day, you now live in this new mood. Okay? And it is up to you now to maintain it. To maintain it. And that would be another masterclass, the process of maintaining it. But this gives you the tools that you need to be the author of your state and to operate the law of attraction as an actual law, not just some vague idea. Okay, you're not just willing it into being, you are actually being your entire awareness. Okay, everything that you are, your energetic configuration, You are bringing your awareness, your intelligence, your thoughts, your feelings, your body, your mind, your soul, your spirit, your emotions, your neurochemistry, your coherence, okay? Everything. And you're treating it like a law, like a scientific formula, because it is, okay? All right. That's the transmission. And if you need to watch it again, I welcome you to do that. If this is your first time visiting Sunday Mystery School, I encourage you to check out the full series because it is a complete curriculum. It is completely free. It is a resource for the community. It is available on the School of Imagination website, schoolofi.org. You can go there, you can register, you can get access. There are 36 episodes from season 1 that cover Neville Goddard's 5-lesson masterclass in tremendous detail. It is a recipe for really anything you want to cook up in your life. This is a masterclass training across 36 episodes, a full curriculum, comprehensive. Today's actually the 40th episode of Sunday Mystery School. So it's a vast resource at this point. So I encourage you to check that out. In the description, not in the description, but rather, yes, in the description, there's a link to my school, School of I, also a link to my mailing list. In addition to all the free resources that we do here, there are also paid trainings. So if you're very serious about crafting the life of your dreams and moving into a certain mood and then giving it life, not just by watching videos, but by actually a training program. Okay, so like daily with accountability. That's the level that we're on at the School of Imagination. So if that type of thing resonates with you, definitely get into the mailing list, get on the list. There's upcoming trainings coming. In the comments, I would like to see some examples of victory songs. Okay, that's how you can contribute. If I gave you value today, in the comments, I would like you to return some of that value by posting what you feel your victory song is, okay, to help us inspire each other. The best way to do this, the best practice would be to make it a YouTube link. So if you can go grab, if that song exists on YouTube, just go ahead and pop it in. That way everybody can stay within the ecosystem of YouTube and just check out those victory songs. I greatly appreciate that. That would be a great way to hook up your fellow students on this call. At this point, I do have the Zoom room gathered with me. These are members of the channel mastermind. It's another thing you can do if you want to support the channel and also get more value out of the teachings here. You can join the channel mastermind. It's $25 a month, gives you access to special speaking into existence calls where we get to practice speaking what we want and being witnessed in that. There's also live guided meditations that we do, and you get access to a whole library of those, the ones that we've done in the past. Ton of value there. You also get access to a special area on our Discord server that is just for mastermind members with all kinds of resources. So it's a way that you can support the channel and also get plugged into a bigger community. Those members are in the Zoom room right now, and I'm going to invite them to ask any questions or to make any contributions. I know we covered a lot today. It was pretty comprehensive, and I want to give them an opportunity to respond. So let's do that.
Absolutely amazing.
Of course.
Right?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so if your emotions and intuition are not in sync with your thoughts, is it impossible to maintain your desired mood consistently?
Yes. Short answer is yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I'm so glad you brought this up, because that's why we talked about what we talked about today. Because a lot of people don't necessarily understand that distinction. Okay. And this is why people, that are just, watching videos on YouTube, they're like, oh, I just have to like get my thoughts in a certain place. It is more than that. It is about a whole being. Everything needs to be in alignment. That's why we talked about the heart and the gut. The gut is considered the source of intuition, right? So when the gut, the heart, and the brain are all in alignment, they're all in coherence, and they're all in a certain mood, now you are a powerhouse. You are a force of nature.
Okay. Okay. All right. That was my question.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. Yes. Anybody else in the Zoom room? Anybody else in the Zoom room? Andrea.
Yeah, I just want to say how good this lesson was. I'm a heart math person,
Yeah.
and the way that you tied in the heart, brain, and the gut was so good. It's just so essential for everything to be aligned, to be in coherence. I can't imagine reaching a state of coherence and your gut is upset. So that was a kind of a new way for me to think about it, and I really appreciated you bringing that forth. So thank you. The whole lesson was great. Really enjoyed it.
Excellent. Thank you, Andrea. Andrea has a channel where she does heart coherence meditation. So for any of you that are interested, click on her name on YouTube and you can find, maybe link your channel in a comment on the YouTube video, Andrea, so they can find that. It's a great resource. I've done them. They're fantastic. So appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Orlena, you had something else? Go ahead.
Yeah. So for people that have like gut issues physically, like they, can that deter you from like having manifestation issues if they physically have gut issues?
That's a really interesting question. I don't know if it's black and white that way, but what would be interesting is to see if going through a process like this actually helps some of those issues subside, because there's this newfound alignment, right? So I don't know, but you'd have to try it. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Miss Shireen, go ahead.
Find my way here. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
I don't really say much, but I have been followed, and I just want to compliment you on such a well thought out, organized, with visuals and examples. I think all of us in the mastermind, on some level, already knew the processes, but what a way to tie it together and to make it personal. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Shireen. I'm so glad that it landed. Yes. It was my pleasure, and it is my honor to serve you. Thank you. Anybody else in the mastermind?
Hi, Josiah.
Hi, Oksana.
Hi, everyone. I just want to say the comment about the victory song. I remember one Neville and Chill episode, Shweta gave us it's a web application, sooner.com. Maybe we could just make our own victory song.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking about.
Yes.
Because I was just like, what song would meet my expectations? But maybe I could make it myself.
Yes. That's extra credit. That if you make your own, that's definitely extra credit. That's bonus. Yes. I love that idea. That's great. Yeah. So what Oksana, for those of you that maybe didn't catch that, she's talking about an AI tool that creates songs based on prompts. Okay. So whatever that mood is that you're now ascending into, you can talk to the AI prompting tool about that, give it a prompt, and then it will create in whatever style you choose a song based on that mood with lyrics, and you can adjust them and then it'll sing it for you. So if that resonates with you, you can use this tool. You can also use other songs or sources of music. With words, without words, doesn't matter. What matters is that you have some sort of energetic connection to the song. That's the important thing. That's what makes it a victory song. Paula, go ahead.
Or we could actually make our own song together, made by humans.
Oh, that's a fun idea too. Marcio, your name's being called again.
Well, I'm happy to coordinate that and do whatever needs to be done. But the more people that put something into at least the lyrics, the better it would be.
I love that idea, Paula. That's something we can organize on the Discord. And we do have music people in our group, so maybe we can get a little bit of a collaboration going. That'd be awesome. I know you're a music teacher too, so you probably have resources as well.
Absolutely. I mean, if anybody who wants to write part of the lyrics or has an idea for a tune, I'm happy to pull that all together and
let's do it. Let's do it. Awesome idea. I love it.
All right. In the Discord, where's the right place to post that?
Start in the live chat and then we'll make a specific channel for it.
Okay. Yep. Great. Thank you.
Perfect. Awesome. Anybody else in the mastermind? Okay, I think the mastermind then is complete. All right. Thank you everybody for attending this live stream masterclass. I trust it has given you value. The idea of bringing it together in this way and really today was about bringing together concepts that we've talked about for 40 episodes. This is the 40th episode of Sunday Mystery School. Bring all of them together in a way that makes them all align and hopefully easy to understand, and not just to understand, easy to apply. Because the whole point of being here, the whole point of learning this is to do and be and not just know. So your homework for this week is to set that time and space and to go through the whole process as outlined in this masterclass and enter a new mood. And there are several days between now and the next Sunday Mystery School. So you get to sleep in that new mood and take that selfie multiple nights. Okay. So you will be able to come back to the next Sunday Mystery School as a new person, having a new experience in a new state of being. And that is what this is all about. Until next time, my friends, imagine wisely, and we will see you all again soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.